So in this video, I'm going to explore the differences between the Nike Romoleo 4s and the Nike Metcon 6s. I know the differences are obvious to many. One is a pure weightlifting shoe and the other is a CrossFit focused all-rounder of a training shoe. But there are those of you who may be wondering whether you need to invest in a weightlifting shoe or if you should just continue buying the all-rounders that you've been wearing for most of your gym-going life. So here's where I'm coming from. I've always done squats and deadlifts and things like running and jumping, etc. within my gym activities. I've owned several pairs of the Nike Metcons. When the Metcon 6s came out, I asked myself, do I want to invest in a new pair of Metcon 6s or should I just invest in a pair of weightlifting shoes, which might improve my squats and my deadlifts? Now when it comes to weightlifting shoes, I've never owned them. I've always thought that because I'm not a power lifter or I'm not doing any sort of serious Olympic strength record, that I don't really need to spend money on a specific pair of shoes that I'm only really going to be using for 2 exercises. I've seen many people in the gym wearing weightlifting shoes, and again, I never really saw it as something that I needed. Now for those who have never tried weightlifting shoes on before, I would say that the most obvious and noticeable difference from the first moment I tried them on is how sturdy they are. They're like anchors holding you down and keeping you planted in place. They weigh probably a third more than the Metcons do, and they have no spring or bounce in them whatsoever, which is understandable. It's exactly what you expect. The Romoleo 4s hug your foot and support every area. The arch area in particular gets a lot of attention. There is, of course, as you can see from the outside of the shoe, a slight lift in the heel. This really helps the lower back when squatting, and for me, it makes the whole squat movement feel smoother and more comfortable. The Romoleos also have a double Velcro fastening system, which is great. It keeps your foot even more secure and in place, so you've got the laces and the Velcro. I feel like I can squat more weight because my feet feel so planted and supported and secure. Some have mentioned a little heel slippage with these. I actually think that could be down to not buying the correct size. I haven't experienced any slippage at all, so do try before you buy. The most noticeable elements I think you'll see with these is the thickness and the hardness of the materials used, mainly the front of the shoe and the ankle area. These materials seem really well stitched and durable. Now, when I switched back to the Metcons in my training session, the difference was of course night and day. At the heavier end of the squats that I was doing comfortably in the Romoleos, when I switched over to the Metcons and tried squatting the same weights, I just didn't have the ability to carry out the same amount of reps. At that moment, I realized that I needed the Romoleos in my life, and carrying an extra pair of shoes in my gym bag is just something I'm gonna have to start doing from now on. Now, the Metcon 6s I was a lot less impressed with. Why? Because feature-wise, I don't feel like they're that much of a step up from the previous iteration of the Metcon. They boast 18% more breathability than the previous Metcon 5s, and that's mainly due to the change up in the materials used to keep your feet cooler. And they also boast a slightly firmer foam in the heel area and a softer forefoot, which makes things like running and landing after box jumps feel much softer. But I think that if you've ever owned or currently trained in the earlier Metcons, you'll know exactly what you're getting with the 6s. It's more of the same really, with a couple of changes. I personally don't think they're worth the upgrade. You're not really going to miss much. The Metcons do exactly what you expect them to do, and that's offer you a good all-rounder. A little more comfort and durability than the previous models, but I just feel that they haven't done enough to make these a must-buy. If you found the Metcon 5s or even the 4s on sale for a discount, in my opinion, you should just go for them. You wouldn't really be missing much at all. As for the Romoleos, as you can probably guess, I'm in love with them and I'm not going to be getting rid of them. Make sure you get the right size too. So that was my quick take on the Romoleos versus the Metcon 6s. Have you tried either of these shoes out, or are you considering buying them for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Check out my list of the top 5 weightlifting shoes and the top 5 CrossFit shoes out right now. Link is in the description below.